intention doesn't arise anyways. This is why they're lacking that energy and they can't really do anything. In order to get that vitality within you, you got to expand your comfort zone and show yourself, snap yourself out of it. This is why people say ignorance is bliss. You know, if you're doing a full-time job and you don't know the conception of anything other than that, as soon as something else enters your worldview, the possibility for a little bit more, you can't stop thinking about it. This thing inside you gets activated, the desire to become one with the vast ocean. Right now, you're a droplet trying to become one with the ocean, but you get frustrated because you're like, oh, is this it? Is this it? And you don't have the possibility of anything more. You can't conceive of anything more. The moment you start to conceive of, oh, making more money, you strive towards that. Oh, having an awesome relationship, you strive towards that. What goal visualization closely relates to is desire. What process visualization closely relates to is intention. Process visualization is focused on the movement towards the goal. Goal visualization is just focused on the goal itself. Okay, you can just sit at home on your couch all day long and you can visualize your goal, nothing will happen. You can also visualize the process, but unless and until you can intend and move towards that and actually ground that process visualization in actual reality itself, no movement is going to happen either. I really didn't know what I wanted. I knew what I didn't want. So first of all, I knew I had to get clarity around my life and what I wanted to do, because I don't want to spend the rest of my life as an engineer doing something I'm not even passionate about.
How much is that half the battle right there? Actually, I would say that's like 90% of the battle is just defining what you do want. And so many of us, as he's going to continue to say, we don't even know what we want or how we would get there. If we knew how we would get there, we would have been there by now. So what it really boils down to is discovering and defining what it matters, what it feels like to you to have the dream life. And it can even just start with like a dream day, like visualize your dream day. And for me, there were just principal items like I have options. I get to spend my time how I want to. Me and my children are harmonious in our life. We live a balanced, rooted, healthy, relational life. We are active. We have fun together. They are prioritized and loved and respected in a healthy way in their relationships. They love how they spend their time. These are kind of the qualities of life that I was defining. And you know, I have more than enough. I have more than enough help. I have more than enough resources. I was expecting that way down the road and it snuck in early. So different luxuries that it's really incredible. Once you start defining things that matter to you, it's amazing how life has a way of arranging it for you. And it really, one of my biggest fears is that I get to the end of the road and I hear on the other side, like, there was so much more for you. I wish you would have tapped into it. And coming from the original language of Christianity, that was my like OG language I grew up in terms of the spiritual world. So I just remember hearing over and over and over again about the horrible death that he suffered on the cross. And it's like, why do we focus so much on that part and not so much on what happens 40 days later in the upper room? When the Holy Spirit, that same Spirit, it comes to the people, you know, that Spirit that rose him up from the dead and like started changing everything. Pretty much they walked around manifesting things, right? Did they not? So it's like, why don't we talk about that part? And he said he came that we may have life and life more abundantly. Like, well, then how do we get the life more abundantly? Just by going to church and tithing. I feel like from a lot of the religious gatherings I've been to have come from this space of focusing on how much we are bad, how much we don't deserve it, and how much we really just have to ask for it. It's not that we have to go like begging, pleading. It's like an order at the restaurant. You ask for it. Hey, may I have this? You're not being like, may I have this because you're begging, hoping it's okay. No, this is my order. I know, and I'm going to pay for it, or it's already paid for, whatever. In this case, you can just look at it as like, yeah, I have a treasure trove that's been paid for. It's called my inheritance as the child of God. So here's my order, because he said it is finished to tell us I paid in full. So whatever my order is, it's paid in full. Now all I have to do let's pick my order. And hopefully there's some revelation of divine identity in there and like how it's going to actually bring kingdom here. But if not, at the very least, you should at least be able to provide for your family, to not be miserable, to not be sick in your body. That's the children's bread, is healing and health and wholeness. So if you're not experiencing that within the religious circle that you're in, I would dare say there's more for you. Blasphemy.
I had a goal in mind, okay? I had a vague goal in mind and I created a slide out of that. My slide, my goal, final goal slide, which is the same as it is today, is waking up in my mansion in California next to the partner of my dreams, and I have a nice red shiny car, and a Ferrari or a Tesla, whatever it is. I go down and my friends are swimming in the pool. They're like, Quasi, jump in. And I think I have to go out into the town. The mansion is in the hills. That's what I kept visualizing and turning in my head. So the thing with goal and process visualization is that you need both of them. No one is more important than the other. And as I said to you, without the desire, the intention is useless. Without the goal, the process won't even be there.
Without the goal, the process will not take shape. That's why it's so important to just pick something, trust, hand it over to your creator and say, this is what I think I want to do. This is where I think I want to go. I'm leaving the door open that you can correct me and take me in a different direction according to the best of all outcomes. But you have to actually pick a goal, set an intention, and allow the process to then lay in front of you as your path.
So first of all, because I didn't know how to get to my goal of financial freedom, how to get to that goal of being in that LA mansion, that California mansion, I just focused on the goal itself. I just visualized the goal. Once you keep visualizing the goal, what you actually want, ideas for the process come to you.
So true.
Okay? The doors to get to that goal start to show up to you, because this is what's happening. When you visualize the goal, you start to attune yourself to the parameters of that goal. Okay, your frequency starts to resonate at the frequency of the goal lifeline. So right now, you're currently going at a lifeline based on the decisions and the intentions you have. Quasi was going towards a full-time corporate engineering career, but I was attuning myself to those lifelines so I can shift. When I visualize that goal, I tune myself to that goal. When I ground my actions in that direction, then I start to move towards that direction even more, and I stop wavering back in this direction. Okay, so to really show you this, let's say there are 3 lifelines, right? Let's say you're in this current spot. This is the spot of engineering. This is the spot of, mansion Quasi.
Because he was originally going to be an engineer.
I don't know, drug addict Quasi. Based on the decisions you make, you go to certain lifelines. Based on what your actions, and I'm talking internal actions, external actions, what predominant thoughts you have, what you keep focusing on, you start to attune to different lifelines.
Shameless plug again to Seed Soil Water Spa. If you can just work it into your schedule to watch 1 2-minute mind retreat video every day. Maybe you do it every day on your lunch. Maybe you do it every day on your drive to work. Find a way to work it into your schedule, because you have to proactively snatch your life and snatch your attention and put it onto something that it's not already thinking about in order to start changing directions. It's intentional, it's a discipline, which all, by the way, this is all prophesying in the Christian terminology. It's prophesying to your life according to the revelation of the Tetelestai paid in full. So you write it and you visualize it and you feel it. Psalm 126. And we were like those who dream, and laughter came pouring out of our mouth, and people were watching being like, oh my gosh, the Lord has been good to you. And it's like, yeah, look at my life. Like, what happened a year ago? My life was in shambles. And then now, like, what? How? Things that were impossible are happening. So, but it's a discipline. Even knowing this, even knowing how just all I have to do is visualize and feel into it a little bit and focus on it a little bit and just hold on to it a little bit. Sometimes it's still like, I'd rather just go like eat the candy of listening to true crime. Like, that's what I like to do. It's like your entire future is in your hands, and you could technically appoint any direction, and you just want to listen to true crime. Yes. So anyway, make yourself begin today. Set a reminder on your phone. Take 2 minutes every day. Convince yourself 24 hours. What's 2 to 12 minutes to visualize something and to go into that space of imagination? Just try it. At the very least, you get a 12-minute little vacation in your mind. And at the very most, it could actually be changing the trajectory of your life.
Visualization is a powerful way for you to attune to these different lifelines. When I visualize my goal, I keep attuning to these lifelines. Okay, the mansion lifeline. When I keep focusing on what I don't want, reality doesn't understand between what you do want and what you don't want. When I keep focusing on, oh, I don't want the engineering job, I keep attuning to the engineering lifelines. When I keep going out to party and doing drugs, I will probably attune to the drug addict lifeline. Okay, so this is basically what's happening. There are 3 different lifelines, or 4, 5, 6, however many lifelines. Whatever your thought energy corresponds to, predominantly, that's the lifeline you'll be focused on. If 51% of my thoughts are focused on mansion, business quasi, making money, giving value, becoming a revolutionary coach, that's the lifeline I'll attune to. Then I'll be moving towards that direction. Okay, so that's the balance. So when you visualize the goal, and I keep attuning to these lifelines, a magical thing happens. Right now, the door to this lifeline is closed for me. Okay, so when I'm here, I don't really know how to get to that mansion. By the way, I don't know what I need to do to get to financial freedom to be able to make that kind of money. But when I keep visualizing, what happens is suddenly these doors start to show up. And what I mean by this door is the basis of your process visualization. So when I started visualizing that, I was like, oh, I want to start making YouTube videos. Maybe I can give some value to the world. Maybe that can potentially evolve into a business. I don't know. That's what I'm passionate about. So Quasi has the idea, make videos, first door, right? And then this door evolved more and more. I keep visualizing the goal, door evolves more and more. Like, oh, well, now Quasi has to make 2 YouTube videos a week, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At one point, I was making a video per day, right? So that's how this process evolved for me. And these doors started closing up. Even more than that, I had more ideas for the process. Okay, so when I have the idea that, oh, Quasi needs to make 1 video per week, I visualize myself making a video. I visualize myself editing the video. I visualize myself starting a Facebook group, building up my business. All of these ideas come to me. All of these ideas will only come to you in the moment where you're not distressed. This is what's known as intuition. People misunderstand this. People think intuition is like, oh, I feel good, so I should do that. No, that's instinct. That's your bodily instinct. Intuition comes at a peaceful, calm state. These ideas will hit you like a eureka moment. You know, Albert Einstein didn't go searching for the theory of relativity. It just hit him. You know, the ideas just come at you like a eureka. Intuition will find you. You don't need to go searching for it. You can't train it. This is something when you stay at peace within yourself, these ideas come to you. Okay, this comes from attuning yourself to this lifeline. What's known as this space, the world space, the alternative space, which contains every single combination of possible realities that can be manifested. It contains that information, which then you attune to, and the ideas start hitting you. But if you block that information, it's never going to come to you. AKA, if you're distressed, if you're stressed out, if you're questioning, doubting yourself, fighting against yourself, it'll never come to you. Only when you're fully relaxed, these ideas come to you. So sometimes I would get the ideas in my dream. All of these doors will start to present and start to join, connect the dots. And eventually you'll get to that. So I grew my business from zero, absolute zero in February 2019 to now it's almost February 2019. I'm about to hit my first 100K month in my business. Right, so I went from 0 to 100K months within 12 months.
Congratulations,
and
Quasi.
The thing is, it feels very, very slow to you. But when other people look into your life, it's going to be very quick. It looks very quick because they keep going 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But you're just going 2 steps forward without going a step back. Yes. And this is the power of visualization if it's done correctly. There are also a combination of other things like not fighting against yourself, learning to coordinate and all that. But I'll share that in some other video. Key number 1, visualize the goal.
Visualize the goal.
Every morning. And nighttime.
And night. Day and night. So these keys are in the word. And yet I feel like the application of it has been either demonized or just kept from us. And there's reasons for that. So may we be diligent. May we be wise as serpents and gentle as doves, and aware that we are like sheep sent out amongst wolves, that there are people and systems that are against us, and we ought to be wise and utilize systems that we see are illuminated by truth and utilize them because we have been sent here for a reason to have dominion. So we better learn how to freaking do it.